The following program is the work of the broadcast students at the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland which were produced over the last week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their instructors.
Coming up on BCIT Magazine, an environmentally responsible solution for BCIT's icy campus.
New SkyTrain upgrades have riders questioning the price tag.
And a group of Vancouverites are reducing waste by repairing items. Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Sierra Simpson.
And I'm Ash Murney. Despite an onslaught of frigid weather, BCIT says it's saving salt for icy roads in a creative way this winter. Our reporter Sean Murphy has more.
As winter makes a late appearance, there are concerns about how to preserve our infrastructure while ensuring safe driving. But BCIT is worried about our pollution surrounding salt usage and has adapted a snow solution. Brine, a mix of water and salt, is now being used instead of rock salt. This basin behind me holds 5,000 gallons of brine. Using this method has reduced how much salt it takes to cover the campus from 20 tons down to 3. The brine is soaked into the road to keep ice from developing rather than flowing into waterways like traditional salt.
We sit on quite an acreage here, and we have a creek that runs through in the forested areas. So there's a lot of people that are really invested in those ecosystems. So people are really happy to see us use less salt, and whatever we can do to make that happen and to protect our waterways, we're going to do it.
The brine is made on campus and is applied whenever snow is forecast.
People often look to post-secondary institutions like BCIT to sort of be leaders and show leadership, and you know there's an unfortunate number of good leaders in the world these days, and so if BCIT does it, I mean I think a lot of people in the paper would read about it, and small municipalities and other people may do it, and so just because they're small here doesn't mean it can't have a big effect.
By spreading brine, BCIT is not just preventing black ice and avoiding environmental damage, they hope to inspire change. Sean Murphy in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
We are now joined by our reporter Sean Murphy. Sean, what's the difference between salt and brine?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the biggest difference between salt and brine is when they lay down the brine, it's more scattered and there's less chance of it going into waterways. It's more likely to just dissolve right back into the road. When you look at salt, it clumps up and has a really good chance of getting some waterways and damaging the ecosystems that way.
Oh, so what animals could be affected by salt use on public roads?
Well, it's not actually just affecting the ducks behind me there. It can also affect salmon and in particular trouts, which can find their homes here in Keyshawn Creek. Back to you.
Thanks, Sean. TransLink opened up a long-awaited and upgraded SkyTrain station at Commercial and Broadway this past Saturday. My co-anchor Sierra Simpson has more.
SkyTrain users will now arrive at a shiny brand new station. The upgrade at the Commercial Broadway stop costed $81 million.
Commercial Broadway doors will open on both sides of the train.
The platform was designed to allow passengers to board and exit from both sides of the train.
This helps improve flow and gets people where they're going faster. So that's the main upgrade. We also have a couple new elevators, 4 new escalators.
The construction took a total of 4 years to complete. And where did the money come from?
A portion from federal government, a portion from the provincial government, and a majority funded through TransLink.
Although the platform seems to be a hit, some commuters are concerned about the price tag.
I think the upgrade is a good addition. I would be curious to see why it cost exactly that much.
I think that's a lot of money to spend for what we got.
It's really one of the busiest stations on the system. It's about customer convenience, and we just felt that we needed to do what we could to do the project.
The new platform that serves about 20,000 passengers every day is not the only new wrinkle. TransLink has also built a shelter for passengers waiting for the B-Line bus. Sierra Simpson, in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. A controversial political group rallied this past Saturday at Burnaby City Hall. Jesse Day has the story.
Is illegal. No one is illegal. No one is illegal. Yes, they are. No one is illegal. Yes, they are. No one is illegal.
Over the weekend, a rally organized by the National Citizens Alliance was outnumbered by people protesting what they say is a racist agenda. Party leader Stephen J. Garvey denies any allegations of racism.
Calling us racist and stuff, we're not racist. We love the immigrants in our country, but we want to protect our country.
The rally was held shortly after the NCA announced that Zachary Johnson would be representing them in the upcoming Burnaby South by-election. The National Citizens Alliance is a federally recognized party. However, Johnson is not listed as a candidate for Burnaby South by-elections Canada. The party has been under fire for their anti-immigration and anti-globalism agenda.
We are anti-globalist, pro-Canadian. We stand in full, uncontrolled grassroots opposition to the globalist agenda.
We've said it already. We are here to silence you. That's why I am here. No immigration yet.
It was disappointing because these protesters wouldn't let us speak. So there was more of them than us, and they just wouldn't let it. They were bullying us.
The rally was organized to support the Canadian Yellow Vest movement, which is not affiliated with the Yellow Vest movement in France. The Burnaby South by-election will be held on February 25th, and right now it looks like the NCA won't have a candidate. Jesse Day in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
Vancouver's once red-hot housing market continues to cool. The Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver says homes sold in the area are down 40% from this time last year, the lowest seen in the past decade.
For the 7th straight year, Victoria has taken the top spot for Amazon Canada's Most Romantic Cities list. Speaking of romance, a Vancouver company has taken dating to a new level. We're joined now with our producer, Aya Benasso.
I'm Aya Benasso for BCIT Magazine. Have you ever thought that DNA could be the key to finding your match? I'm now joined with Tim Sexton, CEO of DNA Romance. Tim, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me on.
And with Valentine's Day being, a less than a week away, some people may be looking to online dating to find the one. How does DNA Romance bring literal chemistry to online dating?
So DNA Romance are the first company to bring chemistry to online dating. Now, chemistry is a feeling that you typically only have when you meet somebody in person. So, in person, chemistry is a major element of human attraction. So it's just part of the picture of attraction to appearance, personality, and then there's chemistry. And chemistry also has the counter effect of being a warning if you're meeting the wrong person.
Okay, so you have brought some personal DNA collection kits here. Can you walk us through the steps, or what are you looking for in these tests?
So to describe that, we'll have to take a microscopic view of what DNA really is. Now, in our test, we look at your DNA, and this is an example of you and one particular point in your genome, and here you have the letter T. Now, this would be an example of how I match with you if we're both opposites. So I'm TT, you're CC. Okay?
And we click.
We click. We're a good match. Now, if I want to match with you and we're the same, so we're both TT.
We can't really
we don't really align. We don't have chemistry.
Yeah.
So this is how our test works at a very, basic level.
So when you send these to people, they're, I've done a DNA test before and I have to spit in it.
Yes.
This is kind of similar.
It's very similar. It's going to get your DNA, but we're going to get DNA from your cheek cells.
That's
so
good.
Just in your cheek, rub it on your cheek in circles for about 30 seconds. You can do both cheeks, whichever, just try and get enough of your genetic material onto the swab. And then you can put it into the tube and snap it off.
Here?
Yes, at the black line. There we go. And then screw the lid on, and then that'll go into the envelope and be posted to the lab.
And that's all people have to do. So when they sign up, that's so interesting.
It.
Well, you know what? DNA dating is certainly an interesting concept, and can't wait to see how it grows into the future. So thank you so much for being with us here today, Tim.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Thanks. Please stay tuned to the rest of our show.
The most rewarding thing for me has been the relationships I developed in the program, both with instructors and classmates.
My sense of confidence has never been higher. I mean, this program has offered great opportunities to be in real world, real industry situations, and being in those moments and knowing I can contribute, I can do this.
It's exciting to be in this industry and to meet lots of great people and to make amazing friends.
BCIT Broadcast and Online Journalism, realizing your potential.
Welcome to this week's community calendar. It is that time of the year again when love is in the air.
But besides the bouquets and the dinner for twos and also the chocolate, we want you to enjoy some special Valentine's Day events with a twist. Let's go.
What's better than receiving gifts this Valentine's Day is giving back. So why not check out Loved Up? It's an event with a DJ, silent auction, and an exotic Ethiopian dinner. And all the funds go to support women's digital workshops in Ethiopia.
Tired of living the single life? Well, guess what? You're not the only one. Try out dating advice and matchmaking for singles. And get this, they use DNA to determine your best match.
Are you looking to dance the night away? Why not bust a move at the prom night dance party? Pull out your old dress and throw in a nice tux and dance the night away.
Looking for a chuckle? Head over to the Park Pub for food, drinks, and laughs with your best buds or that special someone. So that was your community calendar for this week.
So get out and enjoy your city and maybe even find some love.
Never know.
Welcome back. Looking for a stem cell match is tough enough even for the average person. But for one man battling cancer, the odds are not in his favor. My co-anchor Sierra Simpson has more.
I feel like I'm kind of in a race against time.
Just days after his 30th birthday, Martin Lindhag was diagnosed with 2 rare blood cancers. And the only way to save his life is through a stem cell transplant.
My last biopsy showed that I had 60% cancer cells, so I feel like I don't have much time left. The prognosis is like just a few months.
Family, friends, and even strangers are trying to find a match for Martin.
I just felt the world crashing in around me, and we didn't know what to do next, and how to even think.
But it hasn't been easy because there are few Filipinos in the donor pool.
So it's less than 1% of our database is people of Filipino descent. It's hard to tell why particular ethnic minorities are so poorly represented on our database. Sometimes it's just a lack of awareness, or there might be fears behind it. They might have questions.
Hi, are you here to register?
This past weekend, Martin's family hosted swabbing events, inviting people to come get tested and register to become a stem cell donor. Event volunteer Adrian San Juan experienced the same situation with her 15-year-old sister, who finally ended up finding a stem cell donor.
So we did learn about Martin, who's another Filipino-Canadian looking for a match. So we know exactly what their family's going through and what Martin's going through. So we just really wanted to help his family and kind of relieve the pain that they're going through.
Like they're still doing this to help me out. I mean, it gives me so much hope. Even if you're not a match for me or for someone you care for, or that you could be a match for someone else. At the same time, I'm trying to enjoy life while I can.
Visit matchformartin.com to learn more on how you could save someone's life. Sierra Simpson in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. Reduce, reuse, and recycle are the 3 staple environmental responsibilities. But as our reporter Kareem Gouda found out, repairing may just be the 4th R.
What you're hearing are the sounds of broken items being given another shot.
We're here just to do some fixing.
The City of Vancouver is partnering with 3 nonprofit repair groups that fix textiles, computers, and pretty much anything you can fit through the doors.
I've got a Kit Kat clock that fell off the wall several years ago and hasn't been fixable since then.
So let's try replacing it.
Volunteers like Brian Wing say some things can be fixed easily, and it's all about turning that first screw.
Just open it up, see what's inside. Maybe it is something you see that's pretty obvious. Frequently it is. And so I think that's it, the courage to start.
The courage to start was at the forefront of Shay O'Neill's mind when she began Repair Matters 4 years ago.
I'm really passionate about sustainability and zero waste. So that was something that I hope to come out of this, is fixing things that would have normally ended up in the landfill.
Repair Matters deals with a lot of old electronics that have been dead for years, but with the right tools and training, some items can be revived in minutes.
It's just so great after all those years to have them come to life again.
Some items are a tad trickier, but just as the event was winding down, Maury's Kit Kat clock was finally winding up.
A little under an hour.
And now you can tell what an hour is.
And now I know what an hour is. Because clock works, yay, success.
While those in attendance may have walked away with their old items, they also walked away with new skills. Kareem Gouda in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
We are now joined by our reporter, Kareem Gouda. Kareem, what are the 3 groups that put on this event?
Right, well, there is Repair Matters, as you saw, but in addition there's also Free Geek Vancouver, which specializes in fixing computers and repairing and recycling e-waste. And then there's also Framework, which is a textile nonprofit that deals with fixing clothing and keeping less clothes from falling prey to the fast fashion industry.
Awesome. And where can people find this next event?
Right, well, the next event put on by Repair Matters is going to be at the North Vancouver City Public Library, and that'll be on February 16th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Back to you.
Thanks, Kareem. It was billed as the largest Japanese book sale in Western Canada. My co-anchor Ash Murney was on the scene.
More than 40,000 used Japanese novels, manga, and children's books were on display at the Nikkei National Museum and Culture Center in Burnaby. The organizers say it was more than just a book sale, though. They saw it as a way for the Japanese community to connect with their past.
The Japanese language book sale is very significant and important in order to continue to maintain the language of our ancestors and connection to Japan for Japanese families raising children here on the West Coast. Many children of Japanese ancestry who are part of families of new immigrants do attend Japanese language schools either on the weekends or after school, and this is a great way to bring together families in order to share Japanese culture.
The variety of books not only connect with the community in BC, it seems a certain type of Japanese comic book has its own unique fan base as well.
It features manga, a wide assortment of manga.
One attendee said Japanese graphic novels introduced him to Japanese culture.
It's a wonderful experience. I'm a fan of manga. I have a huge collection, right? I came here to buy some more books, look into more of it, and go to the anime show they have later on today, right? They also have some wonderful Japanese treats and desserts, and the whole atmosphere of getting to learn about the culture is a wonderful experience.
The book sale happens annually and seems to draw larger crowds than the years before. Ash Murney, Burnaby, BCIT Magazine. Delta is the trashiest city in Metro Vancouver, according to a new report on solid waste. That's 40% more than the average household.
The provincial government has given approval for BC Place Stadium to be renamed by a sponsor. The province says they will allow the stadium operator to issue bids for the naming rights.
That was your BCIT Magazine for this week. I'm Ash Murney.
And I'm Sierra Simpson. Thanks for watching.